It's a good rehearsal. We look forward to a good meeting.
Okay, sir. I don't know if what you're referring to is the volume in the house. The volume in the house was very low. All the time, the chairman had to be calling to say that we couldn't hear. So if there's a way that that can be improved upon, it would be well appreciated, because if this is going to be beamed on YouTube, the people are not going to hear us at all. So whatever it takes to improve on the volume in the house will be appreciated.
I think it's more of speaking to the microphone. If you recall, when the auditor was speaking, you're meant to put the microphone close to his mouth. The volume, became quite loud. So maybe instead of just putting it at some distance, take it closer to your mouth for those who will be sitting in, so that others can hear.
All right. I initially thank you very much for that observation. Initially, we did not want anyone to touch or hold the mic for same reasons of social distancing and all of that. But what I now think we will do is put a small table just beside the podium with a sanitizer or wipes that whoever will have to get in there will have to use immediately before and after, so that they can handle the mic directly to their mouth. I think that's what we might have to do. Whilst the technical team will note also the issue of the volume, so that from both ends we will improve what comes out at the end of the day. Yes, I think this question, we have a question to the registrars. Mobo, are you still there, please?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. If you check the proxy forms and also the notice convening the meeting, you will find that the appointment of the external auditors and the remuneration of the external auditors are all separate items on the agenda, and also separate items on the proxy forms. My question will be, can these motions, this item be taken together when in fact the votes casted are separated between these two agendas or motions?
Okay, if there's not going to be a change in the remuneration, for instance, and there's not going to be a change in the auditors, I think we can take them as one. But if any of the variables is going to change, then they will be taken separately.
But even if, first of all, I can confirm that there's no change in the external auditors, but as to change of fees, we have, as usual, don't come to AGMs to discuss their fees exactly. It's just to empower directors or the board to so agree. Is that a material reason why both of them cannot be taken together, therefore?
Well, it shouldn't be, but in my views, since I'm just thinking about it now, since the report has gone out, and it's been presented like that in the proxy, we might just as well take it as it is. Maybe going forward, we can consider whether we want to merge them together or not. But my advice would be, so that because it's already gone out like that and shareholders have seen it like that, we should take it as we have enumerated or outlined it in the proxy form, which is one by one.
Yeah, I think if there are no other dissenting voices here this morning, I guess that will be the approach we should adopt. You recall that in all of the physical AGM meetings, what happens most times is get a first resolution from members to combine both items as one. But we don't have that luxury now. So we might just as well take it the way we have so presented it in the agenda and also in the proxy form. except if there are other well-informed positions that will make us to do otherwise.
An objection may be raised by shareholder on this. You see, when the motions are separate, ideally they should take it separately. Well, that's the point. That's the point. Then what happens? We should take them separately. That's the best thing.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other comments or question?
Just this one. I have not had to stand up, for example, during introduction or when you are seeking for re-election. Is there any other one so that we could have some uniformity?
What do we think?
Maybe just some prayers. I don't think we should stand for prayers.
Pardon?
Maybe just some prayers. When we're saying prayers, maybe.
Okay, prayers and national anthem.
Yes, maybe just those.
Okay.
And the secretary has to be upstanding to read her notice of meeting.
Okay. Then also, I was wondering for counting of votes, indicating whether you agree or disagree on a particular motion. I see here that what we do is raising our hands physically through the screen. And I know that for Zoom, there's also a way you can raise your hands or that, or the technical team, what they intend to do about that.
No. I don't know. I think the matters where we needed to raise our hands are already been subject matter also of the proxy forms.
Oh, okay.
So I think they have been taken. The aspect of chairman and director's fees, ordinarily those are matters we thought we would need to take with the chairman. The chairman cannot propose fees for himself. So the shareholders will have to propose that, and the shareholder will need to second that. And then because that needed to be voted for, no, that one is already taken as part of the proxy. What is not taken also in the proxy form is the election of audit committee members, because we did not know as to how many candidates will be vying for that position. But fortunately now, as of today, we know that there are only 3 of them, so we can take them together. Otherwise, that will have been subject to voting at the end of the day. I think these are few issues, but we'll address all of them with the chairman and the secretariat.
Okay.
Right. Any other comments or question?
Just for general purpose.
Okay.
When we needed to stand for the national anthem, it also affects the camera. So for those who are not going to be within the hall, who need to stand for national anthem, that we need to adjust the camera. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tunde. That is noted. Any other comments or questions on how to improve things? Okay, that's all right. Okay, we'll take it at the end also. National anthem at the end after the prayer, right? Okay, thank you. Right.
Okay, we can conclude now. Or?
Nana is making comments. Mrs. Mobo Olashoko and Mrs. Odukale. It was not their cameras were not capturing them properly. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Mrs. Mobo Olashoko will be here physically on that day. So it's only Mrs. Odukale that will have to note that comment. Your camera was not capturing you properly, according to our IT person.
Okay.
Right. Any other comments?
Noted.
Just seeking for clarification. Have we agreed that it is the chairman that will introduce all directors, or are we going to go in the order? Because, I missed that point of the suggestion by the lady from the registrars.
I think
She was suggesting that instead of calling some of us to introduce ourselves, maybe the chairman will just introduce every one of us.
all right. What do we think?
My suggestion is that each director should introduce himself or herself, but if there's a hitch, I can then choose that person. As this was able to connect, so I can choose that person and moves to the. And we should please follow
I think for expediency and for speed, the chairman can call our names one after another and said all of us are connected, to the meeting. That is what the Maristam lady was suggesting. But I think either way is okay. We can take turn by turn and just be apt and alert while in the meeting. And maybe we should print the order sent by the company secretary by our side so that you don't need to even be asked that you need to introduce yourself. For example, I thought I was number 4, so I was counting from the chairman. He introduced himself and then 2 other or 3 others. Then I now jump in to introduce myself, only to realize that I wasn't number 4 because I didn't have the papers by my side. So I made that mistake. Such mistake can be avoided if one person introduces everybody. And of course, the other way to avoid that mistake is to print the proceeding by our side so that one can see what is happening. Or for those who are tech savvy, can open their computers by the side and scrolling to see the proceedings.
So what's your preference?
So what's the...
Let me comment on that. Alaji, you can just, if you have an iPad, you can just download the proceedings on your iPad while you're looking on your laptop. That's what I'm doing here. So it's easier to...
Okay. No, that is exactly what I was suggesting, that you either print or you download the proceedings. Don't worry, for me, I don't have an issue. It's only that the registrar made the suggestion and we didn't appear to trash it, to accept or reject or no.
Okay.
So the conclusion is that we'll maintain the format adopted for today's rehearsal.
No issue.
Sorry?
I say yes, I'm okay with that.
All right. We may just improve it a little bit. I think we'll work with the technical team so that when it gets to the turn of anyone that is making an introduction, they can show the person more by way of having a full screen, and then the name, and then the director, just stated on a nameplate kind of. But the director can visually introduce himself or herself. Is that possible? No, those are everybody. So you are playing it in the order that we have. You are just showing their picture, Is that possible? Sorry, I'm asking the technical crew. Right, thank you very much. So we will go. Professional parties will need to note their position. If I'm number 9, and when number 8 is introducing himself or herself, it does mean that number 9, I will be the one to follow. I will begin to prepare myself accordingly for there to be a seamless introduction. But I think let's have a feel of the directors by way of physical introduction or actual introduction of themselves. I think that's what the board has resolved to now. Thank you. Any other comment, please? Sorry.
Hello, sir.
Mary. Okay, Mary, yes, here you want to.
I just wanted to suggest that probably during the introductions, every director, wherever we are, we can actually leave all our mics unmuted. Now, what this does for us is, as we take the introductions, there is no delay. Because what happens a lot of times, people are trying to fiddle with their systems to unmute, and then there's some form of discussion or delay. So just unmute your mic wherever you are. the whole of the introductions may not take more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So, and you just key in. So as soon as somebody is finishing, you know you are the next person, you just come on. Your mic is already unmuted. That's where everybody is on standby. Just a suggestion, however. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Adeyanju. Chairman, I think we've taken all the comments and questions that we need to take at this meeting, the post-rehearsal review. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, MD. Thank you very much, everyone, for taking our time to come out for this rehearsal. Obviously, this is a rehearsal, an AGM like no other, with this virtual AGM. Today, we see that we're able to actually actualize this using. So I still want to implore everyone to still remain safe. We thank God for good health and the fact that we're able to be here to rehearse this AGM and then to prepare for the AGM on Wednesday. So thank you very much, everyone, and we look forward to seeing everyone on Wednesday to have the actual AGM. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
What takes your anxiety away?